Hi, my name is Matt Denton, and this is a brief tutorial on how to record audio within a DAW for the Introduction to Music Production course. The DAW that I will be using is Logic X. Your DAW may have the settings in slightly different locations, but the basic functions will be the same. I've already created an empty project with a basic audio track for recording my guitar. I have input monitoring enabled, and I make sure that my track is a mono track because a guitar is a mono input like a microphone. The output is stereo. I also want to name my track so that any audio that I record will be named properly. The next thing that I want to do is check my settings. First, I'll make sure that I have the correct input set. In this case, my audio interface is a Line 6 GX. I have a low buffer size. I have 24-bit recording enabled and software monitoring on so I can hear the audio through the DAW. I also want to select low latency mode so that any plugins are not going to interfere and add latency to my recording. For this first pass, I'm going to set the metronome on with a 1-bar count in. Now I'm going to go to my track and add a amplifier simulator plugin, in this case the PodFarm 2 plugin, which came with the PodFarm GX. There is one that is included with Logic. I happen to like the sound of the PodFarm, and if you've never seen one of these programs, they give you a lot of options for changing your amplifier, your cabinet, your microphone placement, room size, all the things that you would have if you lived in a guitar center or something. And it allows you to change everything on the fly. The way that works is that you're really only recording the raw guitar signal and not the sound of an amplifier. That's being provided after the fact. So now we're ready to record. I'm going to set up an 8-bar loop by dragging an 8-bar section in the loop region. Now in Logic you don't have to arm the track for recording, but you should have recording enabled so that you can check your level before you start. Now that I'm ready, I just check my level, hit the record button or R, and start playing at the count in. Now in reality, I don't actually like playing to a click. I prefer to play to a drum track, as I feel I get an overall better groove. So what I'm going to do is go back to my metronome and change it to count in only. And then I'm going to go select a suitable drum loop and drop it into a new track after I make a second guitar track, so I can leave the first one alone. There's a couple ways you can multi-track. This is one where you can duplicate your existing track. But that gives you a little more overhead in terms of plugins because you're duplicating your plugins as well. Or you can leave it as a loop and do multiple passes. So here I'm going to go grab a drum loop from my collection. This one I think came with GarageBand or something. And put it into a new track. Make sure that I rename it so that it's clear that this is the drums. Then I'm going to double check that I muted the first track and input enabled the new guitar track that I created. Then I'm going to drag out the loop. Let's go 12 bars this time instead of 8. Increase my loop size, and now we're ready to record our second track to the drums. First, let me give a quick listen to the drums, make sure the level's okay. It looks like it did a little automatic level setting, which I wasn't expecting. Sounds pretty good. And now we're ready to go. Listen and you'll hear the metronome drop off when the drums begin. Alright, now I'm going to quickly demonstrate a second way of multi-tracking. I'm going to do a second pass over the top of this first one, and it's going to make a little folder of these two things. Alright, so you'll see how it automatically labeled my takes, take 1 and take 2. And although you can go back and do your normal slice and dice by cutting your track, you can also in Logic and some other DAWs do what they call quick take comping, where you just select sections and you create a new comp that way, and then you can bounce it down and have a whole new guitar track of just the best parts. Thanks, and watch for my next video next week.